Welcome into the Unwritten Rule Podcast, your number one stop shop for all sports and media news. I'm your host, Monzi, and today I will be breaking down the Georgia Tech versus FSU game yesterday. Starting out, man, simple. The trenches. FSU got their butts tore up in the trenches. I'm talking about Georgia Tech had offensive linemen going down the field, probably like 15 yards down the field on them almost every single play. It was bad. I'm talking about linemen is going so far down the field, they blocking safeties. Like it was getting bad. So I don't know who the offensive line coach for Georgia Tech is, but y'all need to send him to the NFL, specifically to the Cleveland Browns. Please send that man to the Cleveland Browns. We need him for our offensive line. Our offensive tackles can't move for nothing. Our guards are injury prone. They can't move for nothing either. We'll take him on. We'll take them all. Actually, we'll take the whole group that he got right now. He can send that group to us right now too. We'll take him. I'm talking about they beat up on Florida State, and don't get me started on the defense. Goodness, I thought I was watching the Giants. Georgia Tech came out there like the Giants. Eli Manning can only get you about 200 yards passing. That's probably what Haynes King had yesterday. So I don't know, man. It was bad for FSU, and they were getting beat up, man. FSU got beat up the entire game. I don't know what they could do. The offensive coordinator seemed to not understand the type of quarterback he had, and he only wanted to throw the ball on fourth down when it was needed. He tried to force the run in certain parts of that football game, and he should have never forced any of those runs in the certain parts of those football games. They didn't look good at all. I mean, Florida State was just off from the beginning. It just felt like it was going to be a battle when they came in the game, and it should have never even been a battle. I don't blame that entire loss on DJU. I think Mike Norvell and whoever the offensive coordinator is, I don't know if it is Mike Norvell is the offensive coordinator, but whoever was calling the plays that day should be ashamed of themselves. Like I said, you guys were forcing runs. Should have never been forcing any of those runs. The throws in the middle on fourth down that actually got y'all, to in the red zone. You guys were actually getting yards off of that. 20 yards off of those little plays. You guys just ran away from that. And it kind of seemed also on defense for you guys. You guys didn't have anybody that wanted to come up and hit. Yeah, I know it was a lot of missed tackles, but it just looked like people were not filling in their assignments. It was a lot of linemen smacking linebackers. Like there was nothing up front for Florida State that game on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. There was nothing up front for them. It was nothing up front. And then the running backs, we're talking about Georgia Tech had corners coming down, hitting tackles in the backfield. Like, I don't know, man. It was a Giants football team. If you know the Giants back in the day when they used to make it to the Super Bowl, that's kind of what that reminded me of. Or a weird Pittsburgh Steelers team, but it reminded me really of the Giants. Georgia Tech came out there playing some football, and hats off to Georgia Tech. Brent Key and whoever the offensive coordinator is at Georgia Tech, that game plan was amazing. For you to be able to run the ball like that and efficiently pass, because they did pass pretty good. The pass plays that they threw were all effective. I believe most of them were for first downs, and I believe he only probably completed like 10. So, Haynes King did all right, and whoever Jamal Haynes is, yeah, he'll be in the NFL eventually. I don't know what grade level he is, or if he's trying to hit that transfer portal. But man, you made a name for yourself again on that game. And Georgia Tech was good last season. I just didn't think that they were going to be able to pull this off, but they came out there and pulled it off. And I kind of already knew what type of game it was when the game started. I was just like, it's a little iffy. It's a little slow. And it just felt like the guys up front from the beginning of the game were just giving it to him. It was smash mouth in the trenches. That was a good football game, though, but it was smash mouth in the trenches. And Florida State's kicker, he's going to the NFL for sure. Nailed 250 yarders. He nailed those right down the middle. That boy is going to the NFL for sure. But that's all for me, folks. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the podcast. Wish y'all nothing but the best.